Take me from that moment where the judge reads it off. What was that night like? You leave the courtroom and you're handed down with, I mean, obviously it's two different trials, but after the second one, take me from that point where, what do you do? What does that night look like? You leave the courtroom going, oh fuck, I'm supposed to pay $1.5 billion. What was that night when you got home? What did that look like?
I remember like a day or so before the first verdict, I was in the morning driving to go to the courthouse, and a bicycler just came shooting across the road, and I almost hit him. And I just immediately thought, thank God I didn't kill that bicycler. I mean, we drive down the road at 80 miles an hour on these tin cans. The most dangerous thing we do is drive cars. Number one cause of death, still, below the age of 55. That's cancer and heart attacks. And yeah, I have friends and family, get sick, die all the time, get cancer. So having the corporate media and these people sit there and say I'm the devil and billions of dollars that doesn't exist, it's just made up. It'd be like saying, it's not reality. So people ask how I deal with this and keep putting my boots on in the morning. I mean, when I signed up to fight the globalist, I've had them with grand juries trying to indict me over and over again. I've had them do all sorts of dirty tricks. It came out the Justice Department and the CIA and court run these attacks on me. I'm just lucky they didn't kill me. And if they do that, already knew that. If they kill me or set me up, put me in prison, I'm not a loser. I knew what I was doing. I'm where I wanted to be. So
you're at peace with yourself.
Yeah, I signed up for this.
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting into. I've had them in board meetings and settlements and other groups before they did all this. Another arm of it wanted to meet with me and offered to buy me off and all this stuff. And they also, in these other events, have told me, "Oh, just stop doing what you're doing, and we'll drop all this." I'm just like, no. It's because I know I'm doing the right thing, and I've changed the world, and I've inspired other people to change the world, and I know what my real work's been, and the majority of the public that watches and follows it knows that, and I'm gaining ground all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm the man in the arena, just like everybody else is the man in the arena, and so I don't let people define me by what they claim I am. That's why they want censorship, so they can shut you up, and then they build a straw man. They steal your identity. And they build this person you're not. But people now know when the corporate media is attacking somebody as much as they are me, people go, oh, this must be something else. Then they actually find out what I said.
Yeah.
And then they tune in to shows I did 25, 30 years ago. The shows I did 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 10 years ago are more popular now than ever. Hundreds of millions of views, some of them. And back then, maybe had about 1 million views. And people are just like constantly finding this, finding that, wow, this all happened just like he said. And he's not saying the things they said he said. That's why it's look, I believe, I know in the end that truth will win if we just continue to move forward. And so my bigger issue is frustration. I don't have enough time or energy to do all the things I want to do. My main issue is that I should try to be a better dad. I'm a pretty good dad overall, but there's not enough time in the day.
You're a great dad.
And you're a great dad too. No, your kids too. So again, I gauge things off of what reality does it import? Like how is it? It doesn't even affect me. You'll see the headlines: Jones refuses after all these years to give them their money. Well, it's all an appeal under the law. I get it. To the appeals are exhausted, but that's a side issue too. I've tried to settle with all these people for more money than I ever made. And I told my lawyers, I said, you watch, when we give them this offer they asked for, they're going to sell and refuse that too. And then they did each time. They went, wow, how'd you know that? I said, they want to be married to me. They want the standing to stay in my life and stalk me. That's what this is. I'm the one that's stalked. I never stalked them. Nobody ever. I'm stalked by a franchise the Democratic Party runs of victimhood and fundraising. And it was really smart to massively increase their fundraising once they attacked me and did all that. It goes through hundreds of millions per foundation, like 500 million total that we know of in public records off my name. While they say I made my name off them. But in a weird way, them attacking me and demonizing me, what they claimed actually became true because it did boost what I was actually doing in the end. People were like, wow, this guy's under attack. We don't trust the system. Why is it? We better go listen to him. So no weapon formed against us shall prosper. God takes evil for good. And so I just put everything in God's hands, and I'm not a victim. I chose this fight. And I had no idea the sophistication of this stuff, the PR firms, the disinfo, how it all works, how they try to give a one-dimensional thing to the public. This man bad to kids.
Right.
Like, people don't know who, is. They you hear that name, that place, you think Alex Jones.
Right.
And that's brainwashing. Madeleine Albright, during the Clinton administration, when they tripled the sanctions on Iraq, and Iraq's scrub brush desert, Tigris Euphrates, got some growing area, but their population had tripled since World War II. They had a big boom there. And rock and roll, everything they were trying to modernize. Coca-Cola, Jack Daniels. And in the first Gulf War, they put sanctions on them, but the Clintons tripled them to all medicine, all everything. And it totaled over 2 million children died. But when Madeleine Albright first got talked about, it was a few million died total, but about 500,000 kids. And the 60 Minutes reporter says, was that a good price to pay to kill 500,000 kids? She goes, yeah, it was a good price to pay. We do it again, basically. But she's liberal. She's a woman in power. She's got an eagle brooch. So it's like, we killed millions. It's liberal. And it's like, she's liberal. She's a woman, So it's oh God, it's so trendy. Me, I killed no one, and I'm the devil. It's like they've had like the Ford Pinto case, killing people knowingly, less money than I'm supposedly going to pay. And Ford has the money. You got OxyContin in that family, knowing it was addictive, going to kill a bunch of people, in their own corporate documents, paying out less money than I'm supposedly, and they have the money. So I get it. No, what I did that I didn't do is worse than killing millions of kids, and it's worse than shipping OxyContin out. It's worse than millions dead from fentanyl, and it's worse than anything in history ever done. And I own it, and I just want people to know, you're right. I'm the bad man, like Tony Montana says in Scarface towards the end. He goes, you need me to point your finger and say, there's the bad man. So good. Say good night to the bad man. So I own it. I love it, because this evil, corrupt system, when it says you're the devil, people know it's the opposite. So I just tell the corporate media, these people continue to say I'm Satan, continue to say I'm the great Satan, continue to say I'm the worst person in the galaxy, the worst person in the world, because I simply saw the internet questioning things, viral stuff, and talked about it a few times. Great. But this is how they demonize America, how they demonize families, how they demonize Christians, how they demonize veterans. All Trump supporters are Nazis. That has as much validity as saying Trump supporters are Nazis. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you bringing that up, Shawn. But I really am just, they're never going to stop coming after me. I actually, it keeps me on my toes, and it's what I expect. So, I'm very thankful for the persecution, because it has really taken our audience to a whole other level.
Well, I'll tell you, from the outside looking in, how you do it, I don't know. Like, it's amazing.
Well, we have to keep fighting.
Like, I know. Regardless of what side you're on, you cannot help but respect the fact that you fucking just keep fighting. I don't know where you derive that kind of strength and courage, honestly, but like, I love having you as a friend. I want to thank you for coming on this podcast.
I appreciate you, Shawn.
I can't wait to have you on again. Honestly, I'm so glad I got to know you on a personal level, and I wish everybody out there had an opportunity to really get to know you, because if they did, they would probably really change a lot of things about the way they thought about you.
Well, I appreciate you, Shawn. Overall, people are really waking up, not just to, I'm just a litmus test for that. Like, do you really believe all the stuff they said about Jones? It's the same thing with Trump. How many liberals finally went and saw the full clip where he goes, the KKK is horrible?
Yeah, it's a magic trick, right? It's a magic trick, and the audience is sitting there always trying to figure out, am I getting tricked, or is this real magic, right? That's the way everything that comes out of the media's mouth, I'm like, this is a magic trick, and it's your job to figure out if it's real or not, right?
Well, yeah, and now we have Maxine Waters saying, there's no violence, there's no riots, those are fake videos. You see that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're just like,
like, she doesn't want you to believe what you see with your own eyes.
And Brian Stelter said, it's an algorithm, there's no violence. And it's just like, I've seen it myself in Austin.
Yeah, the public's awake. We see through everything, and I think that's why they look at you as the tip of the spear, because you're taking the biggest brunt of everything. And
Well, I've not been that important, quite frankly. This is an important thing to say in
I
closing.
think you're more important than you think.
I had a big audience, and it was the biggest podcast and show 2016-17. I mean, as big as anything's ever been. And so they demonized me, ran PR campaigns, came after me, deplatformed me, did all that. But then because I survived, it only made me bigger. So it's kind of like I'm that nail they can't hammer in. But now they got Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson and Joe's completely awake and Trump and all these people that get it now. So, I mean, really, I've always wanted to become obsolete, where so many people are awake to how this globalist system works and how we can dismantle it, and people just study how the scams work, and we empower humanity and populism and get back to classic, Western values and the Renaissance. So I feel, you ask how I do it. We're having giant victories. We're gaining ground all the time. I'm blessed that I'm not in prison or dead. I mean, we went up against some really bad people. But they said, no, we'll just turn him into a demon, take his identity, raise a bunch of money off of him. That's how we really kill somebody. We don't turn him into a martyr. In the old days, they would just, bloop, I'm talking about these people. Every time I talk about in general, they go, oh, you're talking about us. I'm not saying those people. I'm saying the old systems of corruption would just kill you. But now they just take your identity, silence you, and then use your identity against everybody. And you got to sit there with no voice while they pretend you did all these things. And so they don't just censor you. They take your identity. You understand? And then they say you said things you never did.
Right.
But
if they can't silence you, they try to take your identity.
Yeah, exactly. It's worse than that. I mean, they literally, like a body snatcher, take you over. Like, you're still there wherever you live. You're still doing whatever you're doing. But they don't want to just take you out of the discourse. They say, like, when they had all the fake takeover and all that, they got reversed by the court. They said, we're going to misrepresent what he's done. We're going to make fun of him.
Yeah.
And they even said, we own his name. You can't do that under the Amendment Against Slavery. They said, well, he's different case in the filings. They said, we're get his name and we're going to be him. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Prince and sign your name over to Sony in an agreement, you can, and then Sony gets it, then they can say you can no longer call yourself Prince. They said, no, we own Alex Jones. We own his likeness. We own him.
That's super crazy. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and X had to get involved and come in and say they're going to block that. So.
Well, good for X for.
And I appreciate Elon coming in and doing it. He's defending his own system.
Yeah.
If they can get my identity, I mean, this is the next level of the lawyers. They admit I'm a test case. Demonize me enough where, that's Alex Jones, we'll accept it. And then they can do it with the next person, the next person, the next person.